What's up, booktube? Welcome back. My name is Laura if you're new here, and today we're talking about some books coming out in December. This is going to be a very short video. I only have 4 books to talk about today. I'm not sure if December is just a slow month for publishing, but I struggled to find books for this month. I actually didn't have any on my TBR. I had to go looking for some just so I could have a video for this month, because it would have bothered me so much if I had a video for every other month of this entire year aside from December. So I had to find a couple. So I do apologize for a super short video, but I guess it's just a slow month in the publishing world. So I guess we'll just get right into it. The first one for this month is called Where the Rain Cannot Reach by Alicia Brown, who is a non-binary author. So I always love that. I believe this is their debut as well. I'm not positive, but let me just, yeah, this is their debut book. This book I found on Instagram, and it's a super unknown book. There are literally only 2 ratings for it on Goodreads. One of them is the publisher and the other one is the author. Very unknown book, so I'm excited to give it a shot and see if I like it. This one is being released on December 7th, and it follows a girl who was abandoned at a young age, and she's the only human being raised in an elven community. But in this community she has found her family and found a sense of belonging until one day her family decides to take her away from that. They uproot her from her entire life and bring her to the home of the dwarves, which is the previous site of some kind of really terrible atrocity that humans did. And it's here that our main character realizes that her entire life was built on lies, and her found family abandons her there, I think it is, and she now has to find herself in a new home with new people. And I really like the last sentence of the Goodreads description. It says, in their debut fantasy novel, Alicia Brown constructs a world rich in new languages and nuanced considerations of gender and race, ultimately contemplating how, in freeing ourselves from power, we may find true belonging. This one sounds really interesting, and I adore this cover. It's gorgeous. It's so striking, and I love being able to support debut books and small authors, so I'm looking forward to giving this one a shot, and I hope you guys do as well. But yeah, I've heard literally no one talking about this book, and it sounds so interesting. And you all know me as well. I love anything to do with elves and dwarves and all that stuff, so I'm hyped. Next up, coming out on December 12th, is Immortal Souls by Vieira. This one I'm just going to read the Goodreads synopsis because I am having a hard time summarizing the synopsis here, so I'm just gonna make my life easier and read it out to you guys. It says, a fallen empire, a forbidden royal romance, an ancient treaty with the Fae. In a world tainted by greed and rebellion, death prowls the shadows of the once glorious Sun Empire, waiting to devour those who dare fight back. Corvus, heir to the most powerful house, is a threat to the Emperor, despite being the dearest friend of Crown Princess Sapphire. When the Emperor forbids their friendship, Corvus forms an alliance to overthrow him until betrayal forces Corvus into exile. After the lethal Queen of the Sirens emerges from the secret realm of Cyrinibus, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Corvus is tempted by an irresistible deal at a dangerous price. Caught up in a conspiracy and a war between light and darkness, can he and Sapphire save the people from a terrible destiny and restore the Empire to its former glory? Or will Corvus have to sacrifice more than he is willing to give? Will his life be enough, or will it also demand his soul? So this one is a fairy fantasy romance, and I've been wanting to get more into the fantasy romance genre because in the last couple of years I've gotten more into romance, but for some reason I just haven't gone into the fantasy romance genre. I'm not really sure why, because fantasy is my main genre, so you'd think I would want to read fantasy romance. Most of the fantasy that I read does have a romance aspect to it, but it's not labeled specifically as fantasy romance. It's just a fantasy with a romantic element to it. Anyways, I'm over-explaining myself here, but yeah, I just want to get more into the books that are mostly a romance that just happen to take place in a fantasy world. I'm explaining this way too much, but anyways, it's fairies again, so I'm gonna like this, obviously. Anything to do with fairies and I'm hooked immediately. But yeah, this one is also a very unknown book. There are only 10 reviews on it so far. It's coming out on December 12th. There's just a couple of arcs that were sent out so far. But even in terms of how many people have it on their TBR, not very many, under 100. And this one is also a debut author, so once again, I love supporting debut authors. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Next up, coming out on December 14th, is The Love Con by Seressia. I'm not sure if I'm saying the name right, so I apologize if I'm getting it wrong there. This one is a best friends to lovers fake dating trope, which I'm already sold for. But the real kicker is that it takes place on a cosplay competition show. So it follows our main character, who is a huge nerd, and she's always wanted to make her cosplay hobby into a career, and she finally has the chance when she joins a cosplay competition show. And she's doing really well, but for the finale, the judges want them to do a iconic couples cosplay challenge, but the main character is single, so she asks her best friend to pretend to be her boyfriend, and the best friend is using this opportunity to hopefully finally get the courage to tell her how he actually feels about her. This just sounds so sweet, and I love the cover. I love seeing like more romance novels with like plus size main characters on the cover of them. It makes me really happy. I've been seeing people compare it to Spoiler Alert by Olivia Day, to like, if you like that book, you'll probably like this one. And I just love nerdy romances too, you know, like they're just so fun. And I love the best friends to lovers trope. It is one of my favorites, and like one that I don't see very often. I feel like enemies to lovers is more common, which I do also love, but like best friends to lovers hit different. So I can't wait for this one. And again, the cover is just so good. It warms my heart. I love it. And then last but certainly not least, we have The Midnight Girls by Alicia Jasinska, coming out on December 28th. Y'all, I'm so excited for this book. I found this book through Pages with Paige in her December releases video, so I'll link that one down below for you guys to check out, because I feel like she's going to do a much better job at summarizing this book than I'm going to. I'm just going to read the like tagline on Goodreads, because it just, like, that's all you need to know basically. It says, "The Wicked Deep meets House of Salt and Sorrows in this new standalone YA fantasy set in a snow-cloaked kingdom where witches are burned and two enchantresses secretly compete for the heart of a prince, only to discover that they might be falling for each other." I need it. Oh my god. Queer witches! I love queer witches so freaking much. It's my favorite thing ever. And I obviously have to mention the cover. It is so beautiful. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. And this book sounds like it's going to be just incredible. So far, the reviews have been phenomenal. Like, there are currently 96 ratings on it for the ARCs, and it has a 4.24 star rating on Goodreads so far. Like, that's incredible. And this book seems so diverse as well. I've been reading a few of the reviews, and there's one which I'll also link down below from Anna on Goodreads, saying that the setting is Polish coded. There's a lesbian main character, a bisexual female main character, there are lesbian characters, gay characters, bi-male characters, Muslim side character, and Jewish side characters. Like, this is a queer fantasy book set in Polish folklore and fairy tales. Like, it's amazing. I love fairy tales, and I love like reading books inspired by fairy tales and folklore from like cultures that I'm not that familiar with. And I don't think I've ever read a like Polish one before, so I'm super excited for that one. I have no idea what their folklore is like, so I cannot wait to find out. But yeah, I think I'm the most excited for this book. It just seems like it's going to be awesome, and I just need to get my hands on it as soon as I possibly can. Alright, and those are the very small amount of books that I'm looking forward to that are coming out in December. If you have any other recommendations, please let me know. I really need to get some more on there apparently. But yeah, I hope you guys found some new books to read for this month. Let me know if you've heard of any of these ones, or if you have plans to read them, or just your overall thoughts. I would love to chat in the comments with you guys. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!